Hey,
Hey! Oh my
baby.
God. Okay, I was trying to do this from my computer, and I guess I'm gonna have to do it from my phone instead because my computer was not like that. I saw your invite and then it disappeared. So,
Well, we
but
got you
okay,
now,
yay, we did
girl.
it, or you did it. I didn't do anything
We
except for hit the
did
button.
it. We did it together. It was team
Yeah,
effort.
I said
Okay.
you're confused while you told me what to do.
Okay. How are you feeling?
Good. How are you? You know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go get my earbuds because the sound on my phone for me is terrible. So pardon me. I'll be right back. They're right here.
Okay, no problem, sister. All right, sisters. We're going to give her a couple seconds to get her earbuds, and then we're going to start this conversation. I'm so excited. Happy new moon, by the way. I hope you've been setting your intentions and listening to your music. This is
Okay.
the last new moon of the year, so it's one of the most powerful ones. Okay. All right. Are you set up now? You got your headphones in?
I am. I'm ready to go.
Okay, let me just turn mine up so I can hear. All right. So the little one is cleaning her room, so hopefully she doesn't interrupt. But we should be good.
Oh no, now there's a delay.
Oh
Why am I hearing
no.
an echo?
It's a small echo with you
But I
on
don't
my
know
end.
if there's something.
How's the sound, ladies? If you're listening, can you tell us what the sound's like on your end? Charlene said it's
I'm trying
frozen.
to see if I disconnect my earbuds, if that was the problem. It
Oh,
was
you
like I
sound
was
really
hearing
good
everything
now.
you were saying before. I sound what?
Okay, you sound good. Charlene said it's good. Terry said it's good. But the video is frozen for some. Oh, okay. Is it going slow? Okay, so Gypsy said everything is normal for her. And it froze. Okay, so we should be good now. So they
Yeah,
said
it froze for a couple seconds. I don't know. Gotta love technology.
Well, it looks like we're good now. So this should be good. Okay, awesome.
When
All
doubt,
right,
just keep going. It'll fix
let's
itself.
go. All right, well, first I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Divine Goddess Awakening group so we can talk about Soulful Self Care. Me and my soulmate client, Nicole, have been working together for almost 4 months, and I'm super excited for her journey. She just launched Enlightened Lioness,
It's only
which
been
is,
4 months. Why do I feel like it's been like 2
I
years?
know, I feel like we've been working like almost forever. Your soul is so familiar. And I just
Forever. I
feel
know. Yeah. I was
connected to
like,
you.
wait, did you just say 4 months?
Yeah,
That's not long
we
enough to
started
do
working
anything.
together in July, August, September, October, November, December. Oh my
Yeah, June.
goodness.
Yeah, yeah, I guess it was. Wow.
It's been 6 months. That's
Where are my
crazy.
videos?
Oh, did you
Okay.
freeze again?
Oh,
Okay, there
okay.
you go.
I don't know
Oh,
what happened. I just disappeared for a second, but I'm back now. I
okay.
think we're just gonna
So
have to learn that Facebook Live is. We're just gonna roll with it.
we're just
Whatever
gonna roll with it. Yes, just roll with it.
Yeah.
So we've been working together for 6 months, half a year actually, and we've
I
been
mean, that
talking a
sounds
lot
better than
about,
4, but still.
yeah, yeah. We've been talking about manifesting our dreams and owning our truth, owning our story, creating our narrative. And this is something we wanted to have live with the other soul sisters, and then also to invite others into this movement. I think Nicole is a wonderful mentee, student, soul sister, soulmate client, and now
I
a
learned from the
soul
best.
coach. In the process of coaching her, she was coaching me too. It was so many times where we were reflecting off each other, and it was just a really beautiful experience. So I'm happy we could share this with everyone else. You want to share something, sister?
I am so excited. I think that's no, just you said it perfectly. I think that's the magic of this, of of being a mentor or coach is I think you learn just as much as you teach. So it's I'm excited about both sides of that. No, it's been an amazing journey. And if you'd asked me probably at the beginning of the year if I knew I was going to be doing this, I would have said I didn't have a clue.
Felt. See, I feel like a lot of people believe that like going into spiritual counseling or becoming a soul coach is something that you wake up and you decide to do, but really it's a conviction of your spirit where you go through this radical healing process, and before you know it, everything is a reflection of that in your life. And so as you heal yourself, you also learn how to heal others, and that is one of the most beautiful things. Every single person who go on this journey has a soul awakening process where literally everything feels like it's falling apart. You are deprogramming, you are decolonizing.
Everything, it does fall apart.
You go through this, right, this process of metamorphosis, and you literally become this new butterfly, or in your case, you become the lioness. I literally watched you become this little cub that just grew into this amazing woman who literally shifted everything in her reality. And so I want you to share what that process was like for you. When did you realize that this was the journey you wanted to take and you had your own awakening? What was that like for you?
I mean, it was a slow awakening. It wasn't, you know, you don't, like you said, you don't just wake up one morning and go, aha, you know. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. It was painful. It's painful.
Yeah, it's always.
And if I had to describe it, it was violent. It was awful. You know, you do have to, but that's what it, you know, what it feels like. My most recent video was about, you know, my cat bringing in the snakes, and for me, that's what it felt. That's what it felt. I felt like the baby snake, and really it was like being attacked by this cat. I'm gonna die. This is it. Like, this is where my journey is. And then I was swept out the door, and but then it was like, oh, I'm alive, and I'm becoming something better. I really think that you know, I don't know how it worked for you in terms of becoming, you know, developing your spiritual business. I kind of got to the point where it was such a calling for me, a life purpose, that spirit wouldn't let me do anything else. I could not get another job. There was nothing else. I mean, I would put in 20 job applications, not a phone call, nothing, just, you know, and I've never in my life in the past, since the day I started working, the longest I ever went without a job was 3 weeks. I was never, you know, I was never in a position where it was hard for me to get a job. So you kind of, you know, I think when it's that strong of a calling, you're not going to be able to do anything else. You're not going to, you know, nothing else is going to come along that's going to open up that door. And you're kind of, I was kind of forced to say, I have to put all of my time, my energy, and my investment into me, instead of trying to grasp at something else to invest my energy into. So it was, my awakening process was deeply painful, because it was the death of my former self. I mean, my whole way of life, my whole way of thinking, my whole way of, you know, living. I mean, everything was shed. Like you said, it feels like everything is falling apart, but it did. It went up in flames. And then when you rise up from the ashes of all that, you're like, oh my gosh, you know. I have to laugh because I always think of the Whole New World song from Aladdin. It's the whole new world.
And I agree with you. I feel like I started this journey. I started off as someone who was in politics.
Yes, Charlie, you said so much deprogramming.
Yes, it's a lot of deprogramming. And that's what I had to do. I had to literally deprogram and decolonize my mind, because I realized I was running off a system and I had all these different programs. And now I developed a formula in which you can radically transform your life and manifest whatever it is that you want. And it's a 4-step process. And this process is literally on every scale you can imagine, whether you want to manifest your healing and your awakening so you can walk into your soul purpose, kind of like you did, Nicole. Whether you want to manifest a soulmate partnership, whether you want to manifest a new career, whether you just want to wake up one day and fall madly in love with yourself and manifest new confidence.
Right. Yeah.
It's
a
deep program. And it's a process. A lot of people feel like they want to manifest at the snap of their fingers, and so they get caught up on the healing process and they think that it happens overnight, but it's actually a process that happens over time, right? Like you don't necessarily identify, okay, i I want to heal this one issue because I feel like it's stopping me from, let me think of something. Okay, so when I was a politician, I wanted to manifest change in the world, right? So I was literally looking on the outside and I was trying to identify all the problems in the world and fix them. But the spiritual process was literally like, no, you have to look within you and you have to change those things within you and then become an authentic reflection that allows the law of attraction to bring those things to you. And so the first step is the cleansing process, right? Like where you just identify something is out of alignment, whether it's in your life, whether it's externally, whatever it is, you identify that thing and you say, I want to cleanse it. I want to detox it. I want to deprogram it. I want to let it go. That's the first step, is also acknowledging that you can no longer be in denial of the problem. Like, and when it becomes a spiritual problem, that means that there is something on every dimension that is working up against you. So you're experiencing emotional issues about it, mental issues
on all levels.
And it even manifests in a physical way. And so what I feel like is that cleansing process is the painful process. It's the process where you feel like the whole world is falling apart, because in actuality it is. But then it leads us to this grounding process where you literally understand that everything that is in your reality is literally a projection of what's going on in your mind. Everything that you think, everything that you hear, everything that you see are manifestations of your reality. And if you don't own, is that incense
smoking in my face? It is, but it's the smoke just, it's like right in my face. I'm sorry.
It's good. I'm like, spirit is working over there, girl.
Yeah, right. Everything is burning down.
That's the cleansing. That's the cleansing.
Well, and I wanted to say something to the women, women and men. It doesn't really matter. This isn't gender specific at all. But to the people who, like, we're at this point where we understand that there was, a cleansing was needed and identifying. But when I first started my awakening, I had no clue what was going on, and I didn't know what needed to be let go of. Like, the awareness wasn't there. So I feel like even if you're just feeling that push, if you're at a point where you're feeling like, I don't know what needs to change, but something has got to give. Something's got to change. Something, like, you feel a push, but you have no idea, what it means, because that's really where I needed the me I am now, to be like, it's okay, and I did. I've had so many great coaches that have been like, no, you're not going crazy, you're not insane, you're not having a crisis. This is normal. You're having an awakening. And I'm like, who knew this was a thing?
But the crisis leads to the awakening.
Or like, but that's crisis. What I'm saying is, we can look back. You can look back on the beginning of your journey, and I can look back at, the beginning of mine and say, oh, like, I needed to let go of this. I needed to cleanse this. But it's really, when you're in the thick of it, you can't see, what it is that, you can't see what's happening, and you don't necessarily know what it is that needs to be let go of or changed or fixed, other than your whole world's being rocked.
I feel that. I think it's interesting that you use the word crisis too, because I really like the deeper meaning of words. And when I think of a crisis, I also think of like a crossroads and an axis. So like you get to this place where you see that there are many options, on your road, but you want to make sure that you're going down the best road so you can basically achieve whatever it is that you believe that is within your destiny. And so when you get to this crossroads and it's all these different options and you get overwhelmed because you really don't know what is the thing that you need to let go of. You really don't know where you should go, but you know that you're at this point and you know that you need clarity. You know that you need
or what
direction.
your purpose is. Like,
or your purpose.
That was for me. Like,
exactly.
I didn't have a clue what my purpose was. So that also makes it even, like, it compounds the the difficulty of choosing a road, because you're, okay, I have 10 roads in front of me, but I don't know which one is best because I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I feel like at that point, though, really, it's like the universe is just saying, take the first step. I'll show you the rest of it. I just need you to take that first step. Just step onto the platform. And
so
I'll show you the train. I'll show you which one's yours.
Finger snaps. I have a question for you. When do you feel like you were on your journey and then your eyes opened and you were like, this is what I need to do? When was that moment of awakening where you were like, okay, this is where I go and I have that clarity now?
When I was in San Antonio. When I was in San Antonio, that's when you and I talked and decided to do the business program. That trip for me, everything shifted for me in that trip. And I was seeing in San Antonio, of all places, I was seeing pictures of lions everywhere. There was lions. It's there's not lions in San Antonio. What, you don't find lions there. Coming out of the shopping center or whatever, this huge mural on the side of the building. And it was, just, I don't know if there was a specific moment of, I don't even think when I decided that this was what I was going to do to build my business, I don't even think I knew exactly what that meant. This was the point of where I'm saying, sometimes just take the next step. Just take the next step, and everything, the next step will come, and the next step will come. And it's really, I have been, I've been through, I call it spiritual hazing of trust. I'm still going through the hazing, but I'm almost done. I'm so close. So, and that's what it's been, though. This whole journey is, it's literally been, my motto has been, what the F am I doing? But, when we decided to work together and create my business, I knew then that there was nothing else that I was going to be able to do. It was.
And I feel that. I feel like a lot of people believe that manifesting your life purpose or walking in your calling is something aggressive, that you have to know, you have to just take charge. But sometimes it's really passive. Literally, it's sometimes just planting a seed that you ask the universe, okay, I need healing, and this is what I want to attract in my life, and allowing the signs to come to you. One of the things about being a spiritual coach is you recognize that you're a spiritual being and you're just having a human experience. So you step back from trying to control things and you allow the universe to literally talk to you through people, places, things, and the entire universe will shift and start speaking to you. You were literally just walking about your way and you saw all these lions, pictures of lions, and it did something to your spirit. It inspired you. It evoked emotion. And that's kind of how the law of manifestation works, is you naturally attract these things. All you have to do is plant the seed. All you have to do is literally surrender to a higher power, whether it's the highest version of self, to God, to the source, to the supreme, to the universe, and say, you know what? In this human experience, no, I don't have all the answers, and no, I don't even know what to
receive those messages. It's being open to recognizing that everything is connected. Yes, everything is connected. And like I said in my video, my cat bringing 2 snakes in 2 days turned into this whole event, and it turned into this huge message for me.
Right.
And but if you're not open to receiving those messages, you know, you might throw them away or disregard them. I feel like, because I feel like we're all connected, you know,
Yes.
and you know that, but we're not all connected to our awareness of that. We can
Mm-hmm.
be completely disconnected. I mean, I didn't notice synchronicities or signs or messages, you know, 10
Mm-hmm.
years ago, you know, or whatever. You know, I mean, yeah, what's funny is, for me, that's kind of a lie. I noticed them, but I didn't understand the meaning, and I
Right.
wasn't open to
And
them being
we're taught that it's all a coincidence. We're not taught
right,
about
right.
how
Or, oh, that's
intentional nature
weird.
is. Mm-hmm.
My kids are like, oh, that happens to you all the time, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, it does. Yeah, and you just blow it off. Yeah, but
Right.
you don't think there's a bigger purpose, there's a higher meaning for this. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought, I mean, ever since going through everything I've gone through and coming to this point, I thought, man, I wonder how many times spirits tried to talk to me in the last 20 years, and I've just been like,
Mm-hmm. Spirit was just talking to us with the smoke, like clear it
I
all
know.
away. Everything has to be burnt down, like, and that's how it comes to us. Those small little
Mm-hmm.
moments that we take for granted, and it's literally nature is so intentional. Everything in this universe
Right.
is connected. If you think of our atmosphere like water, if something
Mm-hmm.
happens to one little ripple in the water, literally everything
Right.
around that is
It's
affected.
affected. Yep.
And we live on energetic waves. So when we put an intention out into the atmosphere, that's a ripple. And literally the entire universe will answer to the call of that wave. And when you live this intentional spiritual life, you can ask whatever it is that you want. And you can have the expectation that it will come to you. But it does take
Yes.
first cleansing, recognizing that something is out of alignment. You may not know what it is or what it was, who it is, why it's happening. Why is it happening to you? But something needs to
Why me?
change.
Why me?
Right.
Yep.
Why me? Why are all these things happening to me? And then once you get to the place where you're no longer in denial and you're recognizing that you need to be shifted into a new path, that's when you can ground yourself. And I love
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you have a tree behind you, because that is
My
when the
tree of
spiritual journey
wisdom.
happening.
Yeah.
Right. Like you ground yourself, you root yourself into your calling, you open up to the divine, and you recognize that whatever happens at the root is also what will sprout from the crown. So when you
See the
start
smoke,
paying
right? That's our
attention,
confirmation for this live.
confirmation, it's
The
all
smoke just
around
floats by
you,
and
all
says,
around us. And that
yep.
grounding process leads you to the centering. Now, one of the
Yep.
things you said, Nicole, was that um, when you opened your spiritual eyes, and it may not even been consciously, maybe subconsciously,
Mm-hmm.
you recognize that everything was connected and everything was literally speaking to you. So everything in alignment started to answer to your call because you were the center of your universe. You recognize that
Right.
you were the author, you recognize that you were the creator, you recognize, and it may be subconsciously. And so everything around you started to like work in your favor to give you what you needed in order for you to walk on this path.
It also,
With
I started
mm-hmm,
finding the right people. Things started coming together. You know,
yes,
even just like my logo. My logo was divinely made. Everything that I needed. Not necessarily everything that I knew I needed or that I
right,
wanted
mm-hmm.
came together. But the things that were
That was a key word
ethically
too. I like
important,
that.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
So this is part, to me, that's a huge part of the surrender, is saying, okay, forget how I feel like this should go or look or be.
Mm,
It's
there you
it's
go.
the letting go. Yeah, the only way that I can describe it emotionally is like floating in a pool.
Yes,
So
yes.
on your back and just saying, okay, like, you know, this is, I'm just going to float here and you do whatever it is that you need to do
Go
with
with the
me. And
flow.
yep, go
Yes.
with the flow and just say, whatever comes next, I'll just, you know, literally just stand
Mm-hmm.
there with your arms wide open and say, I am willing to receive whatever is for my highest good.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I don't know what that is, I might, because I feel like we do have to recognize and honor the human side of us that is,
Yes.
um,
Yes,
as
Latia.
was mentioned
Surrender.
earlier,
Mm-hmm. Let go.
we have so much desire to have things look a certain way because of that programming that we are so, wrapped up in, from a
Mm-hmm.
very, from birth, really. But the way society defines success or beauty or whatever it is,
Yes, yes.
we can go through healing and there's still going to be days,
Because
where
it's
you're like,
illusions. Mm-hmm. Illusions all around you.
yeah, or you might get
Mm-hmm.
frustrated because this doesn't look the way you thought it was going to look or the way you think it should look.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The way you were programmed that it should look.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. I still think that no matter how healed and how far along you are, there's always going to be those moments. We just learn how to recover from them differently and quick and much quicker than we did at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like those doubts and those, oh, am I doing the right thing? But based on who? Based on what? What is your measuring stick?
Exactly. Immediately,
You
you have to
know?
get to a point where you rebuke that thought, where you recognize that's not
Right.
even your thought. Where did it come from? Why do I believe this? Who told me this? Why is this true? Because
Yeah,
we
why is
all,
there a question? Yeah.
right, why is there a question? We all operate in our own little universe, and we all are manifesting and projecting our own realities. But too often, we
Mm-hmm.
are also running the programs of others. When you get to a spiritual place where you start recognizing how much power you have over your life, you also recognize
That's
those
it.
who don't take accountability for the energy that they put into their universe. So you got to get to the point where you take accountability for not allowing that energy into your universe, where you start picking these projections. Oh,
Yes.
this is what it should be, or this is how it should look, and this is what I should be doing at this age, or this is the kind of mate I should have. You have to get to the point where you just erase all of that. No, I am the
Right.
creator and the projector of what's important in my universe. I am absolutely beautiful. Everything was crafted with intention about me. I was made by a grandmaster of design who knew I needed all these things. Or this is the job that is for me. I don't have to work a
Right.
9 to 5. I can rest and I can do this kind of work with ease. I can get paid for who I am. Or I don't have to have the like Latia say, the thoughts, the ideas, and the opinions and agendas of others. And when you get to the point where you recognize it, you can rebuke it immediately. And another thing that we learn is
I
in
don't
the
even think
matrix.
though.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
say,
sister.
sometimes I don't even think that we realize that it's other people's thoughts and opinions though.
Yeah.
Because we've
Mm-hmm.
carried them for so long, and it could be
For so
generations
long.
back. You know what I mean? You
Generations.
know, yeah, and it's in your DNA. So I feel like there's a challenge in identifying: is this a belief that I truly hold about myself, or why
Mm-hmm.
do
The
I hold this belief?
questioning.
Where did it
Yes.
come from? Yeah, where did it come from? But it's
Mm-hmm.
really having to analyze, who told me, or what makes me think I should be in this place by 40, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What is that based on? Is that a societal norm? Is that from my parents, my grandparents? Where is that from? My friends? Or is it just, a belief that I hold for myself? And if it is, why is it a limitation? Like, why do we put limitations on ourselves in any capacity, no matter what area
Yes.
of life it's in? Why
Mm-hmm.
is there a limit?
And my thing is, or the motto that I live by is question everything. I even do this with my husband.
Yeah.
Sometimes he have projections and ideas of what he think is best. And I'm like, hold on, pause.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that in my universe. I don't know where you got it
Right.
from. And it's not my
If we don't
responsibility
share
to
this
change
universe, you
it.
don't have to answer the question.
Right. But I will question you and I will challenge you. Where did that come from? Why do you
Yes.
believe that? Who told you that's the way things have to be? And so as
Mm-hmm.
I'm unbecoming everything the world told me I should be, I'm also learning everything that I know I am. And that's when I recognize that I am the great I am. Whatever I believe, whatever
Yes.
I deem, whatever I declare as great is great in my universe.
It's
And no
great.
one
Yeah.
can change that. Not my children, not my husband, not friends,
No.
not family, not clients. It gets to a point where
Exactly.
you may not recognize all of the problems in the universe. You may not even recognize your own, but you do recognize what feels uncomfortable. You feel it in your gut. You
Right.
know it's not true. You know it's not real. I don't like the way that make me feel. And if you ever get to a place where you're moving in fear, anxiety, or worry, you know that is not what's in alignment with what should be
Not
operating in
right.
the universe.
That's
And it could be something so small. I don't like the way they said that thing. Or I don't like the way they're trying to project that this can't happen for me because of my race, because
it
of
can be
my
related
age,
to the
because of
food
my
you're getting ready to
demographic, my
put in your mouth.
background. Right. What'd you say? Say
You
it
know,
one more
it's
time,
just,
sister.
I said it can be related to the food you're getting ready to put in your mouth. It doesn't matter. If it's not
There
energetically
it
aligned
goes.
with you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're sensitive and you're aware of that, you're gonna know it. You know what I mean? You're
You're
gonna
gonna
start to
feel
get
it.
those feelings.
Because like you said, it's like being in the flow of things. And when you feel something out of alignment, you recognize it immediately. Like, it was a time I was in a
Right.
car with my husband, and we were talking about something, and literally as he was stating something, the radio answered the question to it. And
I
he
love
was
it when that
like,
happens.
I was like, oh, right. I was like, I love it when that happens, because, when it happens
Yeah.
to me by myself and I tell someone, they think I'm crazy. But like,
You're crazy. Yeah.
I recognized that I was in alignment, and this was the person who is supposed to be in my life. This was the moment that I was
Right.
supposed to be in that moment. And I didn't get any other confirmations, but I felt it. I felt it because of the alignment that was happening, and the entire situation. It just felt like the universe was speaking to us. And I feel like that's what centering yourself feels like, right? It literally feels like everything around you speaks. The television, the radio, your
Right.
children,
Everything.
whatever it is. But
Speaking
when
of
nothing is
manifesting,
talking
here's
back
one
to
of
you,
mine that's decided to join me.
alignment. And
He said, I'm living proof.
yes, living proof. And that reminds me also too, I want to add one more point to this part, is when nothing is talking back to you, then you recognize that you're out of alignment. That you recognize that the wavelengths, the frequencies, the vibrations are not responding to you. So there needs to be
I
some
went through my period of
recalibration.
silence,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll get frustrated
Ooh,
because
you made a
I
point.
wasn't
I love
intentionally,
that.
I,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I wasn't intentionally not in alignment. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it wasn't something I was choosing. I
Mm-hmm.
think in one of our sessions I told you about this time period where I literally felt like I was screaming at the universe and there was nothing.
Yes.
It was just like the echo.
Silence.
Sometimes not even the echo of my own voice. It was just,
Woo.
and I'm like, hello. And I felt like I'd been abandoned. I was like, what am I doing wrong?
Yes.
And it
And
was
uh-huh.
the force to go inward though. I
Woo.
really feel like
I was
also
waiting for it.
yeah.
I was like, yes, it's coming.
Yeah,
It's coming.
when you're not hearing from the outside, it means that you need to go inside. It means that there's something there's something that you need yourself to tell you.
Yes. And like Latia just said, she said sometimes silence and stillness is good. We learn that solitude, well, we've been programmed that solitude is supposed to be a bad thing. But when the universe is quiet and nothing is responding to you, that force to go inward allows you to get into that silent moment, into that still moment where you can hear the voice of spirit, you can hear the voice of God, and you can find peace. We hear often in religious settings and spiritual settings, peace be still. In the stillness,
Right.
you can find God. In the stillness, you can hear the voice of spirit. And only when you get into that silent moment, in that moment of solitude, in that moment of stillness, is when you can hear, because there's too many distractions. Yeah.
Well, I think even knowing yourself more intimately, like for me, it was the question ended up being, forcing me to go inward and say, what sets me on fire? What makes my heart sing? Like, what is it that I, really, really want in this life? It's because I do feel like you said, manifestation is not an overnight process, but to me, it can be a very quick process. It's just But once you come through the other side of all of that messy healing, it can, what I'm saying,
That's real.
It can really start happening faster than you imagine. So
Ever imagine.
for me, it was really a call to go inward and look and make sure, like, Nicole, I know that X, Y, and Z is what you want right now. Like, this is what you want. But what is it that your heart wants? Just make sure. And it's not that it was right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. It's just make sure it's in alignment with, you know, where you really want to be. Because sometimes we want things. I mean, I'm going to use my cat as an example. You know that I manifested my cat.
Yes.
And he's my proudest manifestation yet. Other than my cat. But, you know, but in that, so of course I'm thrilled that I manifested him. He does not leave my side. And he is, you know, he's the perfect partner for me right now. But that also makes traveling a lot more difficult. So, you know what I'm saying? And so it's more like one of those things of just make sure it's in alignment with the life that you want. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm still going to travel, whether I have them or not. But but I'm using that as an example of, if you want a life that's
careful what you ask for, because you will get
but you want a pet. So it's more, Spirit just said, Nicole, I mean, and this wasn't related to my cat, but many other areas of my life. What is, you know, your big vision? What is your heart's desire? What do you really want to go do?
Yes.
Yeah. Or even just, you know, right. It doesn't have to be like a end of, you know,
and you know what?
An end goal, just the next phase goal of what do you want your life to look like right now? What is,
exactly. And there's a lot of tests that come with that. Sometimes you'll put an intention into the universe, and as soon as you put that intention in the universe, you get bombarded with options. And it feels as if everything is unclear, or you're so stuck on this desire that you don't know how to separate your need from your want. But that is the moment where you are pushed to pray, where you have to literally pause everything and close your eyes and go within and say, Spirit, what is the best decision for me? What will allow me to achieve what it is that you put in my heart to do while I'm here in this dimension? Because I want to make the best move. It's so many times where I will ask for something and I will literally put that intention into the universe with the expectation it will manifest, because I know who I am and I know the power that I have. However, when those things start to come, then I get confused. Like, hold on, it's too much, too many options, and literally it'll be clients reaching out to me.
None.
Yeah, you know, my clients will be like, oh, Dorthea, this will be great for you. You should do this. You'll make money. Or somebody will reach out to me. Oh, you should do this. You'll bring in a lot of clients. And then I have to stop and I have to question the motive and intentions behind it. Am I doing this thing because Spirit put it on my heart and I'm convicted to manifest this in my life? Or am my intentions impure? Am I doing it for money? And I'm doing it for clout? Am I doing it for gain? Because if I am, those impure intentions, no matter how good it feels in the beginning, right, Latia, ego, is it ego or spirit?
Yeah.
Because no matter how good it feels, if it's rooted in ego, it's edging God out. It's literally ego, edging God out, edging spirit out, and it will fall apart. But if it's rooted in spirit, and my intentions are pure, and it's for the greater good of all things for myself, immediately in that moment when I close my eyes and I tune out this whole projection of this universe, I can hear the voice of Spirit tell me exactly what to do and how to do. And the way that you can predict whether or not it's how fast it's coming, whether it's something something you did in your past, what's happening in the present or the future, you just follow the seasons. Everything in nature is intentional. The seasons align. Everything will give you the signs. And sometimes we're afraid to go inward because we don't want to hear the truth. We want what we want. We desire what we want. So we get afraid. We say, you know what? I'm not going to ask you what's best for me.
This is what we should want.
Yes.
That programming that we're stuck in says, this is what we should be doing. This is
good
what we're
point.
supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, in turn, we, you know, and I'm sorry, I'm looking at the comments. What about an egg roll?
Yes, Latia. Girl,
I got the
run.
tail
The
end of that.
spirit hit you, honey. When the spirit hits you, run it out. Yes. With your egg roll, okay?
With your egg roll, yep. I just saw egg roll and I was like, I need to read this comment. Easily distracted.
I love
apparently.
it.
Sorry. But yes, all that programming is, you know, can make us say,
And it's
you know,
scary
oh, this is,
too.
I'm doing this for a good purpose, or I'm doing this because this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And like I said, yeah, for me,
and the
that
program
silence,
will make
that
you feel
silence,
like you will not gain happiness or success unless you get that thing. Which
unless, yes, and this is the right way to, this is the only way, or that you don't need to be that happy. Like, okay, good enough is okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, my sole purpose, okay, is to get people excited about life again. I want you to be excited. I want you to wake up every morning on fire, ready to go, and loving every second of the life that you're creating. Like, that's been my whole journey, is learning to love it.
Yes, but also, how did you come to that place where you wanted that for other people? That's the important part of
Because I know for
too.
decades how it feels to just exist.
Ooh.
Because I was literally just existing. There was nothing else. I was eating, sleeping, breathing,
and that's a part of the process.
That was the limit of my life. And then I got, so it was my spiritual awakening got me to the point of I'm getting overly excited now, because this part does excite me. It's
all important.
When you get
all of it is intentional.
But you know, when you feel that push and you know something needs to change, there was a moment where the message to me was very clear. It was either jump and take this leap of faith, or you are going to be stuck right here for the rest of your life. It was, you crystallize here, or you jump and you live. Those are my choices.
And Latia, she just added something that I feel like is so important. She said she remembered her life ending and being resurrected into who she is now, which is the push.
That is incredible. Message me. I want to hear about that.
You jump and you live. Yes, yes, yes. And I feel like those moments where you are being pushed into the corner, where you don't know where to go and you don't know what decisions you should make, that is when you pray until something happens. That is the push. You pray until something happens. You go within.
And you go jump and you trust.
And then you jump and you trust. And you trust because you know that there is a higher power that is going to make sure that everything is working for your greater good, because it's so intentional. Even the push is to push you into a place where you have to jump, where you're forced to jump, because you have no other option but to jump if you want to survive.
I mean, we're always given a choice. I could have stayed, you know, where I was, and I could have stayed who I was, and I could have just really existed until I died. But it was physically painful. It was obviously mentally, emotionally, and spiritually painful. And then I think it really hit me. We're here for so much more than just 9 to 5, pay the bills, raise the kids. That's not what we're here for. Are we, you know, obviously we love our children. I mean, I have, you know, 3 boys. I love all of them with my whole heart, but they have their own lives. Your kids are going to grow up. They're going to leave you. They're going to go start their own lives. And then it's going to be their job to manifest their dreams. You cannot live for them. You cannot live through them. You know, and the same goes for your husband, whatever, you know. You have to know your calling, your purpose, and your passion separate
Yes.
from any other role in your life.
Any other
Separate
role.
from being a mother, a wife, a friend, a daughter, a sister, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You as a sovereign soul,
Mm-hmm.
you have to know.
Girl, you better preach. Yes. I
I'm not
feel
even
like
ordained.
that's the detachment, though, right? That's the detachment. The spiritual awakening is a detachment, is a detachment process where you literally detach from all the titles, from all the roles, from all the programs. You literally allow the matrix to coexist by itself, and then you start to rewrite that narrative for you, because it's all about you. You release the expectations of your children, you release the expectations of your partner, you release the expectations of the world, and you say, this is my purpose and this is what I was called to do. And you have so much conviction that you just jump. You walk out on faith. You allow that hope to brew within you, and you only have positive expectations. Literally, hope is to have
when you get to that point, you
only
have no other
positive
choice.
expectations. You have no other choice.
You
get
to live,
pushed.
to be able to live. Yeah. You're like, it's either jump or die. That's really what I mean. And it's opposite of the way we're used to, we're used to seeing things. But for me to do what I've done, and I told you originally I had this idea to start a channel before I created my business called F the Noise. And that's the whole motto of this journey is if you have to shut everybody else out. I had to, of course there are going to be people who aren't going to agree with you. There is never going to be a time where everybody in your life agrees with what you're doing, because everybody's version of right is different. Your reality of what's right is different than my reality of what's right. Everything I do is not going to check the right box in your department, much less everyone else around you or in the world or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And we keep looking for that approval. We keep looking for somebody to say, good job, you're doing great. Not that we don't need that, but as well as I do, we're going to find ourselves in those moments in life where nobody is rooting for you, where nobody is telling you you're doing the right thing. You have to trust your own knowing, and you have to go on your own power and say, I don't care what anybody else, I don't care if everybody in my life walks out on me and says, you're crazy and you're stupid. Because
you know
I
what?
believe.
And you also get to a place where if everybody walks out and everything that wasn't in your greater good starts to be removed, that something else is coming in place of that.
I was
Because
say,
the
start
universe,
getting excited if that happens.
yes, you get excited because in tarot, right after the Tower card is the Star card, which means literally everything have to fall apart. You feel like the world is going upside down, and sometimes it's the partner, sometimes it's your children growing up, sometimes it's you no longer operating in
your
the same
house.
business.
Yeah,
I've been there. Right before I manifested my life, I was engaged to a councilman, and I was operating in politics. I had literally just finished a council session with President Barack Obama on healthcare reform. And I went through a spiritual awakening process where everything was taken away from me. I lost my job.
And you said, kind of bad timing, don't you think?
It was bad timing. I felt like I was on top of the world. But you know what? It wasn't my world. I was not operating in my calling. And I manifested something that I thought I wanted.
Supposed to be doing.
I wasn't. I was supposed to be reaching the people directly, because I realized that I was a puppet of someone else's manifestation of their dreams. I was a representative of an agenda that I didn't even fully understand. I thought I did. However, when I started operating in my spirit and I went within, that's when things started making sense. That's when I manifested my soulmate. That's when I became the mother that I was designed to be.
Is the perfect example of how on the outside your life can look amazing. It can look perfect. It can look like you would have no reason to think, why would Dorthea start all over again? Why would she, you were living based on what? Outward expectations or
expectations. What my mother told me I should be. The career my father told me he was proud of me being in. I literally was I was a walking manifestation of everyone else's world but my own.
Right.
I was the
Right.
thoughts, the ideas, and the dreams of people who wanted to vicariously live through me. And it was all
Yes.
the illusion. That's when I realized that I was living in a matrix that wasn't my own. And a matrix is just the environment in which something develops. If this is a matrix, that I can also create my own. All I had to do was detach from all those expectations, and I had to spend some time with myself to learn myself. Who is she? What does she desire? What does she want? How does she want to live? Where does she want to live? What kind of person she wanted to be? And the thing about manifestation, you may not know every step you have to take, but if you take one step, the universe will honor it. Oh, and that one step can literally just
Yep.
be, you know what? It's not in alignment with me, so I'm letting it go. There were so many times I had to have conversations with
Those are the
people.
big steps.
Yeah. Where I got to a place and I had to be honest with them. You know what? I thought I was following my intuition, but I take responsibility and accountability for recognizing that that was not my truth. And at this time, I have to make a decision for me. It doesn't matter how much I love someone, love something, a place,
Right.
or
Right.
whatever it is. I have to do what I feel my soul is calling me to do. And I'm
It's
not
just
saying
loving
there's
you
anything
more.
wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you.
Right.
However, I have to take ownership of my own life, and I have to protect my own energy. And I realized that I was following emotions and not intuition. And so now in this moment, I have to let you go. I had to do that with family. I had to do that with friends
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
weren't taking responsibility for their own energy. So guess who had to do it? I had to take
Right.
responsibility for mine. And once I removed them,
Mm-hmm.
then I was able to manifest my dream life because I had to let go of the illusion of what I was supposed to be and the expectations of
Right.
who I should
Right.
be to become who I am, which is the great I
And
am.
that's how
I
that
am the
changes,
great.
though. If you're
Mhm.
right, if your friends aren't, if as far as friendships, I have found that as soon as friends or family members, whatever, whoever is in your circle that does not support you or is
Mhm.
feeding off of your energy and not, when there's no reciprocation, when they're just energy vampires, the
Mm.
minute, as painful as it might seem to let go of that stuff, the minute you let go, like, in other words, to me, I feel like there's an opportunity during your awakening for people to grow with you and shift with you.
Yeah.
And because you might be, your awakening might trigger somebody else's awakening, you know what I'm saying, or
Mm.
whatever. It's all connected.
Ooh.
But the things that aren't for
Mhm.
you, the minute you let go of those energies or those people or places, things, whatever it is, you can almost feel like, I can get more air into my lungs now.
Yes. Yes.
There's that element of excitement of saying, I'm lighter, I can go further, I can, now I can
Mhm.
one step closer to my destiny, my purpose.
Mhm.
Um,
Latia just put in the
and my
comments.
biggest lesson is letting go with love.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. And Latia just put in the comments, repositioning people is my ministry. Letting go with love. Repositioning them in your life is a ministry. It's a
Yes,
part of the spiritual purpose. I agree for sure.
exactly. I agree too.
And
Because
so
nothing that you ever do for your highest good is going to lead to someone else not achieving their highest good too.
yes, yes, because the universe works in divine order, all for the greater good of you. And
Right.
it doesn't matter how many times you have to be reshifted and repositioned. Until you get it right, you're just going to keep repeating the cycle. And it's going to get louder and louder until you have no choice and no decision but to hear. And one of the things Latia mentioned was her reawakening, where she woke up and there was a crash team around her. That is what it's like to be so far pushed into
Yes.
realignment where you have to reawaken into a new life, and you recognize that even though there was a crash around you, there's a team coming to help rebuild
You
you
have a
and put
team.
you in the
Yes.
right place, kind of like your snake story.
Yeah, my
Even though
snake
that
story.
little baby was lost, there was a team that was working behind
It
the
was a
scenes
whole
to
team.
get it back into alignment. And so I want us to I think we're almost at closing. Actually, we're at closing. So I want us to leave some steps or some powerful messages for our sisters on how they can manifest their dream, create their own reality, and just do intentional self-care for the soul. And so, sister, you want to start?
I'm going to go with, I'm going to end with what we were just talking about. Letting people go is self-care. Letting people walk out when they want to walk out is self-care.
Yes.
Not chasing them, not putting your energy into, explaining yourself over and over and over again. And it's not that we don't work on, to me, I don't feel like it's not that we don't work on relationships that are important to us, but if the other person isn't receptive, or if we get ghosted or whatever it is, I've learned to be, the thankfulness in me has grown so much to understanding that, okay, if this person, if we're not speaking anymore, or if this person, decides that they, don't want to answer me or whatever, that it's for a reason. It's divine protection, but you have to be grateful for, hey, you don't need to focus your energy here anymore. Your energy is free to go somewhere else. So self-care for me, as I've been learning, is letting go of what does, because what you want wants you.
What you want wants you. I love that. And the reason why I love that is because you can't attract what you're chasing. Right. And you have to have the mindset that whatever it is that you want, if it's for your greater good, it will be aligned to you. The first step of manifesting your dreams into reality is to heal, is to cleanse. And a lot of people like to believe, one of the things I said was, it doesn't happen overnight. But if you can awaken to your truth and you can erase the stories of denial and say, okay, I don't know what it is, but I need to heal, and you walk in that direction of healing, manifestation can happen in the blink of an eye.
Yes.
But you have to be open to it. You have to surrender. The first step is surrendering. And once you surrender, that is when the cleansing process happens. After the cleansing process is when you ground yourself. You ground yourself in your truth, and you recognize that you are rooted in who you are, not the expectations of what others may believe you should be. Once you go through that, is the centering. When you center yourself in that truth, the entire universe will respond to you. You'll hear the signs. You'll feel the synchronicities. You'll go into this place of bliss where you like, wow, this world is amazing. God
it's
loves
magic.
me so much. It's magic. Closing your eyes will become a sacred prayer. A stop sign will become a moment of intention and meditation. Everything around you will become this deeply spiritual life. And we live in this world where people say, oh, you have to be both. You have to be duality. But the truth is, you are a spiritual being before anything. Now, we are having a human experience. A human error is inevitable. We are all human. We're going to have our ups and downs, our highs and our lows. But if you close your eyes and you recognize for that one moment that this is an illusion, and the ego is illusion, and the projection of this reality is illusion, and all you have in that darkness is spirit, and what happens in the dark comes to the light. You can manifest whatever you visualize when those eyes are closed. And that allows the censoring process to become a release, where you detach, where you release everything that no longer serves you, and you walk into the spirit of gratitude. Your entire attitude become grateful for even the things you did not understand, because you recognize that there was a higher plan for you.
Especially the things you didn't understand.
The things that you didn't understand. There are so many times where I wake up in the morning and I think about the life that I wanted, and I was fighting so hard for my ex-fiance and for my mother approval and for my father's love, and I just be like, wow, God, thank you. Thank you for not giving me what I wanted.
It feels like saving you from the war. Yes. Saved you from the war within yourself.
Save me from the war.
Oh my God, wait a minute. I don't have to worry about any of those people. Nobody else matters but me.
and created a whole family around me, a whole spiritual team, a whole crash team, a whole snake revival team was gathered around me. In place of that, a soulmate, a soul tribe, soulmate clients, a beautiful daughter. And it really went with this process where I set an intention, I prayed about it, I meditated, I visualized, I cleansed what didn't serve me, I created an action plan, I built the foundation, I made an offering to the universe, and that offering was myself. I got to a point right before I opened up my spiritual business, I said, God, this world is yours. And I trust that whatever it is that you want to happen in this universe will conspire in a way that serves my greatest good. I surrender to all of you. May my life purpose be nothing but a ministry of serving you. Send your people to me. Allow me to be a vessel for you. Allow me to deliver the divine messages that you have to my soulmate clients. And everything I wanted came to me because I opened up.
That was the jump.
That opening. That was the door. That was the surrender. And I stopped thinking of it as work, and it became play. I literally get paid to be who I am.
Never work again. Never work again.
It's not work. It's ministry.
Just live this life and love it.
Live this life. My marriage is my ministry. My motherhood is my ministry. And before I can be a soulmate client or a soulmate coach to anybody, I had to be a soulmate to myself. And then I had to be the best soulmate I can be to my husband. Before I can be a divine mother and a divine feminine to others, I had to be a mother to myself. And I had to be a mother to my daughter in the best way that I could provide. And once I started to live my authentic truth, everything in the universe.
Everything can. And that's the key. I think that's the part that people miss, especially, and this is the lesson I've had to learn, especially when you're like, okay, because I've been single for a long time. Many moons. But when you all of a sudden get tired of being alone, I think people go, oh, now I have to go look for somebody. No. That is wrong.
That is when God is shifting things in your favor.
What you need to do is be your soulmate, like you said, but not because you're meant to be alone forever. Be your own
You're practicing.
soulmate.
You're practicing.
But you're also you're practicing, and you're detaching from codependency of I need somebody else here to love me, or else I can't be lovable. If you love yourself so passionately, the way you would love another human being that you were with, that person that's going to love you just as passionately is going to show up.
Yes, do your work, and it will come in due season. Yes. Latia just dropped that. If you become that, by the law of attraction, you will attract
law of
that.
attraction, yes.
But you have to get to a point where you have to detach from the idea of even desiring that, where the desire get manifested and that void becomes filled with what's within.
It's tough to learn to love yourself when you're so programmed to get it from our external, an external source. Even friends, family, a partner, whatever it is. It's a big challenge to take on when you're so used to seeing yourself in the most negative light.
And the only reason for that program
is the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's the most passionately rewarding thing that will ever happen to you. So
and it's only because of the world in which we live in, and the universe in which we created in this country is built on capitalism, which tells you that there's always something you should be seeking externally in order to feel love.
Gotta have it, gotta buy it, gotta
it's
upgrade,
all a chemical. We're chasing this chemical bliss of love, this dopamine, this serotonin, these chemicals going off that tells us this is what love look like. You have to be this, you have to get this, you have to always look externally. But when you deprogram from colonialism, from capitalism, from looking externally, and you become that thing within, you create your own matrix. And everything, the grass can't wait to feel you put your foot on the ground. The sidewalk can't wait for you to walk on it. It falls in love with you instead of you trying to fall in love with it. When you walk into a space, every single man that's there can't wait to have a conversation with you, because you create this chemical, this hormone that literally radiates
that vibration,
which is love. And everything around you can't wait to love you. Your car can't wait to start up in the morning for you. The people who
it
serve
sounds
you,
crazy, but it's so true.
It's so crazy. The laundry lady can't wait to wash my clothes. Your home care provider, your child care provider, whatever it is, they can't wait to be that. My soulmate clients can't wait to speak with me, can't wait to talk with me, because this love is so pure within that it overflows. And it naturally attracts whatever it is that I need. And so I'm going to leave with this last thing. Now that I talked about the tools of manifestation, the step of setting an intention and literally creating the groundwork for healing and manifesting your best life, the number one thing that you cannot do anything until you accept this truth is to invite spirit, to surrender, to let it go, and see yourself, see your life the way that God sees you. When you look in the mirror, you see every beautiful, delicate intricacy and unique thing about you as beautiful. No matter what it is. I love this fat on my body. I love this dark skin.
You know my struggle.
God
I
is
feel
so
like you're
good for
talking to me
making me
again.
this person. And you know, like and because I love this, everything around me loves it too.
Right.
And once you invite spirit into your body and you start seeing things through the eyes of spirit, that is when the whole world shifts in your favor.
You are perfectly and wonderfully made, period.
Perfectly. Everything with intention. So I love y'all. That's what I have. Sister, do you have any last words?
I love you. No, just thank you from the bottom of my soul for allowing me to be here. And we could do a live for days on all of this stuff, but
oh, we got to do this again, sister. This was amazing.
We need to make this on a regular.
It doesn't stop.
Sure. I love it. I love it. No, but I'm just saying, even we could keep going. But no, I'm so passionate about the work that you're doing, about the work that I'm doing, about the work we're doing together. So no, I just want to leave with I love every single one of you, and I cannot wait to do it again. And I am blessed and fortunate to have had all of your guidance, and let's keep going.
And I just want to tell everyone, I am so proud of Nicole. This woman has manifested her dream life around her, and this is just the beginning. I decree and declare that everything she wants come into her life. I pour on love to her from her crown down to her toes. As her soles hit the ground, as the soles of her feet hit the ground, I decree and declare that her soul is grounded. May her soulmate clients be attracted to her in every way. If you want to continue to have conversations with this, I encourage you to reach out to her, to let her know that you love her, you appreciate her. I want everything in the universe to show you how much it loves you. You are such a beautiful soul.
It's all on the way.
Healed, manifested, and I know the spirit is proud of you because spirit allows me to feel proud of you when I see you through the eyes of spirit. And you are such a beautiful soul, sister. I love you. Thank you. And I send this love to every person who's watching. Peace.
Yes. Bye.